Hi, welcome to my channel. I am your inner light coach, and I'm grateful you've joined me here today. Let's step together through stories, rituals, and reflections. Thank you for shining your presence here. So today is Saturday Sparks, and the subject for today is sabotage. So there are three main types of sabotage, and it's sabotage from others, spiritual sabotage, and self-sabotage. But they all do tie into a spiritual sabotage. And I'll explain that as we go along. So some sabotage from others that is mentioned in the Bible is Genesis 37, Joseph's brothers, Judges 16, Delilah deceiving Samson. Sabotage wasn't really a word that they used in the Bible, but we all understand what it means to be sabotaged. Well, hopefully there's people that don't, but for the majority of us, we do. 1 Samuel 18:19, where Saul deceives, manipulates, and attacks David. And Nehemiah 4:6, where Sanballet and Tobiah try to stop Nehemiah's work. And John 13, where Judas betrays Jesus. So spiritual sabotage, it mentions plainly in the Bible in John 10:10 that the thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. And in 1 John 4:7, false prophets are deceptive spirits. In Isaiah 5:20-21, warnings about moral sabotage and twisting good into evil. So, of course, there's also self-sabotage. This is, in the Bible, there's several stories about self-sabotage, and it was Moses doubting his calling, Jonah running from his mission, Peter denying Jesus out of fear, and the Israelites repeatedly sabotaging their own freedom through disbelief. The Bible condemns sabotage since it is aligned with deceit, destruction, betrayal, envy, and spiritual opposition. We need to stay alert. So 1 John 4:1 says, test the spirits. And 1 Peter 5:8 says, be sober and vigilant. So the Bible calls us to walk in integrity. Do not repay evil for evil. It's just perpetuating the evil. Walk in the light. Love your enemies. Forgive everyone everything. And those last two, they're not easy. They're not easy to do, but it's possible. And that's the best way to stay in the light, is to love your enemies and forgive everyone. Of course, love your friends and family too. Ways to recognize that you have spiritual sabotage in your own life is you may be confused on decisions you were once clear about. You may have had like a really clear idea of where you're going, and all of a sudden you're thinking, oh, I don't know if I should do this. You have distractions that pull you off your path. You feel energetically drained for no apparent reason. And you have people around you who discourage, doubt, compete with you, or they just don't support you. And you see repeating cycles. Not just a bad day, but actually things that happen. It's almost like a deja vu because it's happened before. And these include emotional triggers. If you keep having the same, if the same situation comes to you and you keep having the same emotional response to it, then there's definitely, an issue there. Relationship patterns, if you keep meeting the same kind of people, you need to work on that to break that that pattern, that cycle, and the same setbacks before breakthroughs. And you have opportunities that, really good opportunities that come to you and they fall through at the last minute. You have people make attacks on your identity, telling you you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, that's a dumb idea, things like that. You have a loss of peace in your life, and you feel pulled away from what strengthens you. And those things are prayer, community, creativity, nature, rest, ritual, and purpose. And you can feel it in your spirit when something is off. So, how to protect yourself from spiritual sabotage? Well, you can build build your discernment by meditating. Notice how you feel. Pay attention to the shifts in your peace. If you start feeling the peace shift away from you, then you know that you need to, bring that peace back to yourself. Guard your energy, Protect your rest, limit access to draining people, and keep your creative and spiritual practices. That's non-negotiable. That's how the creativity that you bring to the collective it helps nurture that. So another way is to stay rooted in your energy. Go within, affirm your calling, speak your truth over yourself, and refuse to internalize others' projections. Watch for patterns and change them, because the patterns, they reveal your strategy. So if you see the same pattern showing up, that tells you how to deal, and go within, of course, and it'll show you how to deal with that situation, to break that chain, move on, and you won't have to deal with that pattern any longer. Set clear boundaries. That's your spiritual armor. And it's hard sometimes setting boundaries with people because they're going to hem and haw, and you need to just keep those boundaries. And eventually they'll get worn out, they'll go away. Keep your practices consistent. So your prayer, your meditation, your exercise, going in nature, journaling, maintaining your rituals, and seeking community, like-minded people that that consistency can build your spiritual immunity. Stay in the light. Speak your truth always. It doesn't matter like how you're pressured to, how much people are trying to annoy you and pressure you to get out of your truth. Speak your truth. Share your struggles with trustworthy people. Admit your fears. They'll lose their power once you admit that you're afraid of something. And of course, work on it. Address internal sabotage. Heal your doubts, your fears, your old stories, your self-criticism, anything that you're avoiding, because those don't define you. Those are just experiences that you had to learn from. So once you look them in the face and then say, oh, I can release this now. You're healing. You're healing. Look at them honestly. Release them and forgive yourself and others. I say yourself because sometimes we put ourselves into situations, and we're human, we're having human experience. We're a soul having a human experience, but sometimes we have to we go through that for learning. So forgive yourself and know that you learned something from it once you release it. And protect your peace like it's sacred, because it is. Stay connected to your purpose when you are aligned, because just when you stay connected to your purpose, The distractions will lose their power. The manipulation becomes obvious, and the sabotage can't derail you. You keep moving forward. You gather a momentum. So I have a prayer for protection from spiritual sabotage. Holy One, source of light and truth, I stand in your presence now, asking for clarity, protection, and peace. Surround me with your wisdom so I can see what is meant for me and recognize what is not. Strengthen my discernment so I can sense interference early and stay aligned with the path you've set before me. Guard my mind from confusion, my heart from discouragement, and my spirit from anything that seeks to drain or distract. Let every false voice fall silent. Let every hidden snare be revealed. Let every attempt to undermine my purpose dissolve before it reaches me. Fill me with your peace, the kind that steadies my breath and anchors my soul. Restore my energy, renew my confidence, reaffirm my identity in you. Where there is fear, bring courage. Where there is doubt, bring truth. Where there is chaos, bring order. Where there is sabotage, bring light. I choose alignment over confusion, purpose over distraction, and truth over deception. Thank you for walking with me, protecting me, and guiding me in the fullness of who I am called to be. For yours is the spirit and the light forever breathing through me. So, thank you for watching this Saturday Spark about sabotage. Let's get back to love. God is good. Love and light to all. Until next time, walk gently and shine brightly.